Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. Yeah. All right, looks like it's working, y'all. All right, parents, let me get my screen share working so I can get you guys the recap for Monday. Okay, Monday. Lots going on, a lot is going on. The kiddos are going to be on spring break next week, and your teachers are aggressively trying to wrap up the loose ends and get them prepared. So my partner, my co-teacher, Miss Bailey, does this every day. So I just want to, give credit to her, and I'm going to send this out to my other two classes. So by way of ELA, there's a Friday quiz. Looks like Friday, Tuesday, they have the co-argument writing assignment, Coco writing assignment. Quick video, talk about that.
Okay, so for English today, you want to come into ELA Google Classroom, make sure your do now is done. Our weekly slides today was Monday. The do now was write a claim and 2 reasons to prove your thinking about the following. Why should we watch your favorite TV show? Again, your answer must be 3 to 4 sentences. Our learning targets today, I can make a claim and I can support it with evidence. So we continue to work on our activity from last week. So if you go into the classwork tab, you're going to need to look at week 6 to find today's assignment. It's the Friday, 3/18 through Tuesday, 3/23. This is the assignment we're working in. You want to open this up and open your slides. And they should look like this. So again, started at March 19th and we're continuing to work on it. We're working on making a claim. The claim, which is the main point you're talking about, the reason why you think what you think, and then giving your evidence, the facts that prove what you're saying. So again, it's when an argument, where this is argumentative writing. You have an opinion about a topic and you're trying to persuade or get your readers to agree with you about it. Okay, so again, this was the question that we needed to make a claim about. Who is wrong in the story Coco? Is it Imelda for trying to force Miguel into what she believes? Or is it Miguel for putting his wants before his family? So again, who is wrong? Is Imelda wrong or is Miguel wrong? You're not telling me who's right, you're telling me who is wrong. And then you're explaining why they are wrong. Okay, so again, we have these 2 clips. You can watch them to help you make a decision about whether Imelda or Miguel is wrong. Okay, so the first thing you're doing is who is wrong. So in here, you're typing in the red font, you're gonna say blank is wrong in the movie Coco. Very easy, you're restating that question and you're just telling me either Imelda or Miguel. Who is wrong? Imelda, this lady, or Miguel, the little boy? Who is wrong? Okay, after you've made that claim, now you need to give me reasons with evidence. Now that you've developed your claim, you're coming up with 3 reasons that explain why you are correct. Your evidence should be specific events that happen in the movie. So reason 1, to start, blank is selfish. So again, this relates back, you can't switch back and forth between Imelda and Miguel. You're gonna be restating the same person who you think is wrong. So to start, Imelda is selfish. In the movie, what does Imelda do? Give me something exact that she does, and it can be from the clips we watched. Reason 2, one reason blank is wrong is they do not put family first. Okay, now I have to say, when told blank, they still blank. So again, you're coming up with something maybe you heard specifically in those 2 clips we watched. You want to tell us, give me an example of when this person didn't put family first. Reason 3, additionally, blank is rude. Okay, so again, you don't have to use these exact reasons. You can come up with your own reasons. I'm just showing you your reasons should be things that you think or feel about the character, and then your evidence is exact things that you saw or heard in the movie that support your reason. Okay, once you've got your reasons done, and also you need to make sure that you're using these transitions. So you don't have these sentence starters in here. I'm just giving you some examples here, but you should be starting your sentences with these things. To start, one reason, additionally, there's some listed things here. Your sentences should start this way. They should not start with the person's name. Okay, moving on. So our argument. So now this is your conclusion. You're basically restating our claim, but you're just, again, explaining it one last time, why you think who is wrong is wrong. So I said, because of this, again, I'm saying because of all these things I've just written, my reasoning and my evidence, because of this, blank is wrong and should maybe. So now I'm wanting you to elaborate. So who's wrong? Miguel's wrong and he needs to do what? Imelda's wrong and she should what? Tell me what their next step should, what should they have done? Or what should they do now, since they should be recognizing that they're wrong based on your argument. Okay, so now that you've done all three things, on slide 4, you made a claim. On slide 5, you gave 3 reasons with specific evidence. And on slide 6, you wrote your conclusion. Now you're copying and pasting them. You're writing from the previous slides into here. Make sure you have your transitions, right? For your reasons and for your conclusion, there's your transitions there. So again, you're just gonna go back up first, copy and paste this sentence. Now again, this isn't complete because it doesn't actually have the information filled in, but I would copy this, go to slide 2. I'm gonna paste it in here, Control V for paste. Okay, then I would take this sentence too, Control C, Control V. So in the end, you should see all 3 colors on your slide. It should be very clear for a teacher if you have all of your parts. I should see at least 3 to maybe even more sentences about your reasonings and evidence. I should see the 1 sentence pink in claim and your 1 orange sentence for your conclusion. All right, best of luck with this. We're going to continue working on it tomorrow on Tuesday.
All right, Miss Bailey is pretty phenomenal with that stuff. Let's talk about what other things we have on tap. So in science, what I know is that the body systems review Peardeck is going on, and they actually have a quiz, a unit quiz on Thursday. So let's see if she did a quick, if she did. All right, let's roll with that as well. Here's science.
Okay, so for science today, you're going to want to come into Google Classroom, and it's the first thing in the stream, or if you go to the classwork tab, scroll down, we've got our Monday 322 Body Systems Peardeck review. So you're going to want to open this up and click on the link. It's a student-paced Peardeck. In class, we did it together. I'm going to talk through it a little bit, but you're going to need to answer the questions on your own. All right, so body systems, the ultimate review part 1. And so reminder, your test is on Thursday on body systems. Okay, so first we talked about the nervous system. There's a nice diagram there. Remember your nervous system. It's the sense that internal and external environment and respond to stimuli. The main parts or main organs are the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Okay, and then after we did this, we moved on to an ed puzzle here. If you, for the people who were like, I still don't really understand the nervous system, there was a quick video to help yourself, and then you had to come right here with an ed puzzle. Next, we went into a specific example about the nervous system. And the idea is, the scenario is you're walking outside in the cold with no jacket, you start to shiver. What is the stimulus? What is your body's response? Again, the stimulus is the cold weather. The response is your body starts to shiver. Okay, and then we went into muscular system. Okay, so then we looked at the muscles. The main function is to help move your body by pulling on your bones. And there's voluntary and involuntary muscles. Your answer that you needed to type, what body system does the muscular system work closely with to help us move? Okay, after this one, you're moving on to what is the difference between voluntary muscle and involuntary muscle? And you're writing in your own words. Voluntary muscles, you control them. You consciously think about whether you're going to move them. You decide, you choose to move. Voluntary, you choose. Involuntary, you don't choose. Your body just does it without you telling it to. Like your heart just goes on beating without you telling it to. You're not choosing for these muscles to do what they do versus your other muscles, like your arm muscles. You choose to move them. Okay. Moving on, we went into the skeletal system, which is used to support your body, provide protection, and help you move. And then it says, what do you call the place where 2 bones meet? Hint, it's a joint. A joint. That's where the 2 bones meet. Okay. All right, digestive system. The main function is to break down your food into small pieces, both chemically and mechanically absorb nutrients. Our main organs are stomach, intestine, and then we wanted you to explain the words digest and absorb. What do they mean? Okay, then we went over the 2 types of digestion. We've got mechanical digestion, which is physical breakdown of food into smaller pieces without it changing The best example is just our teeth chewing versus chemical digestion is the physical breakdown of the food into smaller pieces without changing it chemically. A good example is your saliva changes starch into sugar, and the stomach acid also breaks down the food too. Okay, so then we want you to complete those two sentences. In the mouth, chemical digestion happens when, and in the mouth, chemical digestion happens when. Okay, moving on. Then click here to refresh your memory on what the digestive system is. So here's another video you can click on there to help remember. And then we went over briefly about a nutrition label, and you should be able to answer these types of questions for your test on Thursday. Okay, best of luck. Make sure you do this Peardeck to help you study.
All right, so in addition to that, we also have a couple other dope videos that she put together. This is for social studies. In social studies, what I'm aware of is they have a U.S. Constitution vocabulary assignment. Let's roll with that video.
Okay, in social studies today, you want to come to the classwork tab and obviously always do your do now reflection. So today's do now was, what did you do for the weekend? And our learning targets today, I can describe the significance of the U.S. Constitution and I can interpret documents to help my understanding of a question/issue. Okay, so then we came into here and we went to this vocab sort. So it says U.S. Constitution, USC, vocab sort, 322. So you'll open this up and open this, and this is what it looks like. It says Constitution card sort. I can categorize constitutional vocabulary words. And so your work you really need to do is on slide 2. So directions says click and drag the boxes to sort them into 4 groups. Okay, so I've got my vocabulary words here on the sides. So the first thing I noticed is there's kind of colors going on here. So I've got the judicial branch, legislative branch, and executive branch. And I can keep those as a group, or I can separate them into different groups. And I don't have to keep them together. I can keep them as separate groups. And then the next thing I can do is look at the next ones, right? And the idea is that you get to decide how you want to group these, and you just are trying to make relationships between the groups that you make. And the idea is you need to discuss what could you title each of the groups you end up making. So click and drag these around. There's no right or wrong answers as long as you make 4 groupings of the words and you can explain to me what you would title each of the 4 groups, you're good. So on this slide, you're going to tell me the names of each of your 4 groups on the slide after you've done dragging them around. Best of luck. Oh, and then after we finished this, we went in and people got time to work on their DBQ, which Mr. Gillette pulled up to here, but your DBQ should be done at this point. Mr. Gillette's giving you a due date of Friday, but we're not spending more time in class on it. So you need to complete it outside of class, come to office hours on Wednesday if you still need help finishing this document. It was our last day to work on it.
Okay, parents, we got one more video. The class I'm most qualified to talk about, but I'm not because Miss Bailey does such a great job. She did not share that we are doing all this with the understanding that on Friday there will be a quiz. So my main reason for wanting to circulate information like this to you directly is either your child is doing, I'm so concerned that they're not going to pull it out, or, and this is one of the reasons, they're inconsistent with their attendance. So that's one of 2 reasons that you may be getting this short video today, either on the attendance tip or because of my concern about the passing. All right, so let's roll with this last video and that will be a wrap.
Okay, so for math today, Monday, March 22nd, we're going to come to Google Classroom, go to the classwork tab, scroll down to week 7 and find Monday 3/22, substitution practice. First thing I'm going to tell you to do is click on the Peardeck link right here. And I'll bring you into here, and it has our do now, and we've got 5x equals 15, and then you're going to show your work. Okay, so the first thing, I like using the drawing function I was like drawing a line down from my equal sign to help myself recognize that I've got two equal things here and I need to stay balanced. And I've got 5x equals 15. So this is telling me x times this times 5 gets me to 15. So some random number x times 5 gets me to 15. And maybe you already can tell what that is in your head, but the way to do it is to divide. So I'm going to divide by 5 on that side. And then again, we just talked about these sides are equal. We need to keep them balanced. So I have to divide by 5 over here. And I've got these 5s cancel out. I'm left with just x equals 15 divided by 5 is 3. And that's your answer to this. Now, our learning target for today, I can solve multi-step equations, okay? And so I keep going in this Peardeck for a little while. We've got a word, our definition, our example. So again, this first word here, it says putting numbers in place of letters to calculate the value of an expression or equation. This is substitute. When you substitute numbers, you're just plugging them in for the letter, right? So in this example here, I've got 2x plus 4 when x equals 5 is just 2 times 5 plus 4. I'm just rewriting it and I'm plugging in that number in. I'm subbing the number in. Like you sub a person on a sports team, you sub that number in. Okay, and then our next one definition is two operations that when put together undo each other. This is inverse operations. Inverse or opposite operations. So they're the opposite and they undo each other or they add up to 0 is like the main thing you want to get in your head. So in my example here, I've got plus 2 minus 2. They're the inverse operation. I've got plus and minus there. Okay. So substitute and inverse operations are big words we need to remember from this lesson. Okay. So now I want us to go over what the inverse of specific operations are. So the opposite of adding, the inverse, would be subtraction. Operation of subtraction, the inverse is then addition. And then I've got the operation of multiplication, the inverse is going to be division. And then again, if I have division first, the operation given is division, inverse is going to be to multiply. And then if I also, we're going to get into variables here. If I had x to the second power, or x squared, the inverse is going to be the square root, which we will talk about later on more. But I want you to get the idea that I'm doing the opposite to get the inverse. Okay. So here's our explanation 1. So I've got 5x equals 23b minus 3b when b equals 2. Okay, so first thing I need to do is sub in or substitute this 2 for the b. So I'm going to rewrite this math equation. 5x equals the 23, and then b is 2. So I'm going to just do parentheses 2 parentheses minus 3 parentheses 2 parentheses. So you see what I did there? Anytime I had a b, I didn't write b. I just wrote 2 and I used parentheses to help myself keep track of where multiplication was because we're not allowed to write the x for multiplication anymore in 7th grade. Okay, so this is what your equation ends up becoming. Let me make this bigger. All right, so this is what your equation is after you've substituted 2 in for b. Okay, so then the next thing you want to do is do PEMDAS, right? Orders of operation. What do I need to do first in PEMDAS? Parentheses. Well, exponents, multiplication. That's what I need. Now I need to follow that order. So 23 times 2 is going to give me 46. And obviously you can use a calculator if you need to. And so these two are getting me to 46. Then I'm going to have minus 3 times 2 gets me to 6. And then my 5x is staying the same because we can't do anything because it's a variable. So right now we've got 5x equals 46 minus 6, which then 46 minus 6 is just 40. So now I have 5x equals 40. Okay, so now again, I want to recognize that now this is solving an equation, right? I plugged in, substituted in the number 2 for the letter B,
Step
and I've
2,
gotten this far by
inverse
just following
operation.
basic orders of
The
operations. And
opposite
now I'm
of
trying to get this X
multiplication,
alone.
division.
So, and it's 5 times this number X equals 40. So this is multiplication. I need to use the inverse operation to solve to get X alone. So the opposite or the inverse of multiplying is dividing. So I'm dividing by 5. And again, if you do something on the other side, you have to do it on the other side. If you do something on one side, you have to do it to the other side. Because, again, we want to keep this as a balanced equation, just like we saw in our hanger diagrams. Okay, so this 5 is going to cancel out this 5, and I'm just going to be left with X equals, and then 40 divided by 5 is going to give me 8. Again, you're always welcome to use a calculator. Just wanted to show you how I got through this problem. Okay, so that's the basic thing we wanted you to be able to do. Just plug in the B and then solve. Okay, so now the second part of this problem is telling me I need to explain how I solve this, and I need to use the vocabulary words substitution and inverse operations. Okay, so the first thing I did was I substituted the 2 in for every B. First, number 2.
You need to be able to write what we are doing in the math class, as well as doing the mathematical steps and formulas. So we got to do a little writing,
Okay.
parents.
First,
in math
that's what I
class.
did first. What did I do second? Next, I combined like terms, or I could talk about, I could specifically say that I multiplied 23 times 2 and I multiplied 3 times 2. Next, I followed order operations and multiplied 23 by 2 and 3 by 2. Next, then I subtracted 6 from 46. So I had 5x equals 40. And I used the inverse operation to get x alone. No, x is 8. Okay, so I just had to write a lot because there's a lot of steps we had to do. So this can be hard, but I want you definitely to write out your steps on the next problem. Okay, so hopefully you followed along with me completing this problem, but I want you to do this problem on your own, and I want to see a full explanation. So if you were in a class, you need to have this problem solved, or you sub in 4 for A, and then you need to show the work mathematically and write an explanation. I'm going to tell you to skip explanation 3 and then just move right into the CAMI, but I want you to at least do one practice here in this Peardeck. And then this was our reflection, but then you would come back into Google Classroom. And you want to open up our CAMI practice here. Open this with CAMI, right? So once you open this with CAMI, you're in here, and there's more practice that's exactly like what we're doing. And there's only 5 problems, and I guess there's 7 problems in here, but you want to at least get 5 of these problems done too. Okay, and start by showing your work mathematically, and then explain it in words. Best of luck.
All right, parents, so just big picture. So there'll be 7 practice problems that are assigned Monday night, 7 practice problems that are assigned on Tuesday. Then they'll have Wednesday to work them through, as well as a video that's going to pull it all together. And then they're having 7 practice problems on Thursday. And then Friday morning, of those 21-ish problems, 5 of them are going to be on a quiz, and each problem probably will be about 2 to 3 minutes max to complete. So that's what we're building towards, okay? If you were able to hang out with me, this was a little bit longer, 25 minutes, but if you were able to hang out with me for the whole time period, your child should be spending this amount of time per subject per night. 25 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes, that's 3 subjects, okay? What will really help them out is if they had a standing time that they start and they stop. Maybe they start 3 p.m. and work to dinner, or maybe they start after dinner and they work to, 8 o'clock. Whatever it looks like for you guys, but most students cannot do this without some sort of adult supervision and oversight. So that's why the videos are being made, and that's why they're being disseminated. Okay, with that being said, God bless. Look for the next one on tomorrow. Peace.